a creative monkey just jumped on my back and like, do this. I wanted to create beauty. I wanted to create love. I want to be a representative of God in the flesh on earth. And if I can do that, I'm happy.
Tell me more about what you have made in the past with visual art, and what do you get into?
I like cartoons. I was working on a memoir of my life in cartoon form.
Cool.
Yes, so
that's interesting. That's really original.
And that's what I want to do with the tarot deck too, is to do it in cartoon form as well. I always think that memoir is such a hoity-toity, over-the-top, self-aggrandizing. But I definitely feel like, my life maybe it's not so much in a book written form, that form, but to see different areas of my life through, the form of cartoon, so that's what I want to do, but
nice.
Not frame by frame, not like a film, but just like a graphic,
like a graphic
book.
Novel.
Yes. Cool. Graphic novel.
Well, I'm really curious, how have you gone about learning to draw cartoons, or how will you continue? It's actually something that I've been toying with the idea of trying to learn, but I have no idea where to start.
I just draw. It started off with doodling, just doodling, and then I was going through a breakup. Okay, I forgot about that period, because usually when you are in the heartache period of your life, or when I'm in a heartbreak period of my life, or some emotional time, I find myself reaching for pen and paper and doodling. So then one day I started to draw like myself, a cartoon representation of myself in these periods of my life. And I just draw it. I just draw, no training. I remember when I was little, they used to have like this ad in the back of the magazines about going to this art school, online. It was a correspondence, and they would send you an art kit. But I never did that. I just liked cartoons, and even when I was a kid, I made a cartoon representation of the TV guy. And I made so I made the
cool.
cover, and that's pretty much what I was doing when I was in Second Life. I would be making they were cartoons, and you just take a snapshot of them, of what the scene was, and then voila. And I would just put stuff, make it into a magazine type thing on my packaging for it. And I don't even know if I don't think my stuff is up on their marketplace anymore, but Second Life still exists. But anyway, you just do it. You just draw, and for me, it would be like, I drew a picture of me, how I felt when Jason died. The cartoon represented in me. So I see me as a kind of a kid form, with tears just raining, out of me. Or I showed
Was that really helpful for processing the feelings?
Processing it? Yes, it was.
I bet.
Yeah, so that's what I just make it into a cartoon.
When you say just do it, is it like just experimenting until you find some kind of way of drawing a cartoon that is pleasing to you, like that?
Pretty much. I don't think it was just any experience. I just take
you
it.
just
I'm
did
like,
it.
just
Wow.
did it.
That's,
Just take, and then
that's
when I
talent.
found it,
That's
and
talent.
then when I found it, just the person that I was drawing always looked the same. I mean, you could tell it was the
Wow.
same person, you know, because it was me. It was just I, you know, and I would just do it. And like I said, whenever I do something visual, it's kind of like, I don't know, a creative monkey just jumps on my back and like, do this. You know, I'm just there until it's over. It's like a storm, you know, that passes by, and
Such a great way
you
to
know,
describe that feeling.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's that feeling. I've got to do it. I've got some pencils and papers. I grab it and I just do it, you know, and but sometimes I wait for that inspiration to leap on me like that. And now it's not so much that it doesn't leap on me as much, but I know that I'm kind of, that's why I say I need to, you know, roll back in my tentacles so that I can feel me and see me. So I'm in a stage right now of, I want to hear more of me and what I want to do. So I'm really mindful and checking in. Well, what is it that you want to do at this moment? If that feeling, like, pick up a pen and do something, draw something, then I'll do it. So that's why I was trying to manufacture that by putting on myself Tuesdays at 4, you're going to be in this creative container with these other people and do what you want to do then. But it just wasn't working out, you know,
Right.
as far with that pure, like, inspiration drive or storm that normally hits. Because in a way, I see myself as a jack of all trades or Jill of all trades and master of none, you know. I mean, I know that I can do something like that, but I haven't sat down with the canvas to do it, you know? And it's just like, it's more of like, when do I allow myself to do that? Then, you know, and to develop that. I know that when I was in my art classes, they would give you an idea, an assignment, do this charcoal work and stuff like that, and do this, you know, and it would be assignment driven.
Did that help, or does that work for you? Can you just jump in and do the assignment? No.
I mean, I would do it for the press, and it was I was so stressed out during that time.
I see.
I was horrible going to school. Right. I realized why I dropped out. I'm like, this is not me. I don't like this. I want to learn in a more organic kind of way, you know, like, and I'm one of these people that let me do it myself. And then if I need help, I'll ask somebody. Actually, I had 1 or 2 art classes, like when I was younger, like when I was 14, when I was going to Cal State LA and taking some courses. And then, and that was a little bit more free from, even though there was assignments. But it seemed like the quality of the art classes that I had back then was different from when I took it during, right pre-pandemic, when I was in a live class. No, it was a pandemic class, so it was online. So that's why it probably didn't feel right.
Oh yeah,
because
no doubt.
That's what it was. I finally figured out why it didn't feel right. Because you weren't in the same class with everybody doing it, you know.
So when you feel like you need inspiration, what do you do?
I always have inspiration. It's just that sometimes I'm just like, oh, that's a good idea if I really wasn't this tired.
Yeah, okay.
You know, that's what it is. My body gets in the way, you know, because of the, you know, I'm trying to work out, and I feel bad about that because it's almost like, do I think I have a special dispensation? I get more time than the average person. Like, when will I allow myself my artist time? I don't know. So that's why I just try to catch it, just catch can, and I journal about daily, and sometimes the tension of a deadline.
Yeah, that can help.
Will help. Does that help you?
Absolutely, yeah. I have a tendency to be a perfectionist, and it's something that I've worked to reduce or get rid of really consciously for a long time now. But with the YouTube channel, I don't have time to, really get into every nitty-gritty detail that I would like to, and perfect and polish everything, maximally. And so those deadlines are, that I've set for myself with this work has been really pushing me. Lenny's literally pushing my back right now. As I said that, those deadlines are pushing me to produce a lot more than I otherwise would. And also I'm learning so much more in a very short amount of time, because, I'm constantly coming up against situations where I don't have a skill that I need. Like, just a simple example is screen recording, like recording my my mouse on the computer screen and showing people something. So I had to learn how to do that. And there's just all kinds of little things that I'm learning along the way. And having those deadlines is really speeding up the process of learning all these new skills and creating more and more and more stuff, which is allowing me to, I think, improve my skills faster than I would if I were without any deadlines and just taking my time to make it perfect.
I hear you. Well, maybe that's where I'm at. But I realized that one day a friend of mine was telling me she had fallen into a kind of slump. And I said, well, why don't you, because I did her cards, and I said, you feel a sense of isolation. And I said, well, why don't we just one day, if you need, we'll be on a Zoom, and you're doing what you're doing and I'm doing what I'm doing. And I'll just be here doing what I'm doing. And we're together, sort of like we're in the office working. And she said that really helped her.
Nice.
And maybe that's a technique that I maybe need too, because sometimes you need the wind of other people's wings flapping to get you going. Especially for me, to turn on that creativity part of me. I replay that feeling of hitting that target of wanting to reach people and make them think, and that's really all it's about, because I'm not looking for YouTube fame or any of that. I'm not looking to set the world on fire. It's just to express that urge to create beauty. I was in this intensive weekend once. Reverend Miriam hosted me for this. And I will never, ever, ever go into anything like that again. But there was this one exercise where you're in this room and there's this giant cacophony of voices. And you're partnered up with the person, and they're supposed to be yelling at you. What do you want? And so this is going on in stereo, beyond stereo. Room full of people, maybe about 100 people or more, 150 people. And they have the room dark.
Okay.
And you basically, it's not completely dark, but there's this guy up on stage, and he's talking, he's preaching basically. And they've got this music in the background that's dramatic and sweeping and stuff. So eventually, with all this cacophony of sensory overload, you start to dissociate, which is the whole point. Uh-huh. And you start to take in that question into this, what do you want? And the one thing that came to me was, I wanted to create beauty. I wanted to create love. And that's my whole soul purpose. So that's really why I do this stuff. I want to be a representative of God in the flesh on earth. And that is a high goal of mine, but that's really where I come from with my choices of creativity, what I choose to do, why it's not important that I don't set the world on fire, just as long as it's whoever I'm with, and even if it's with myself, that I'm being genuine. And the realest point of me because I think I decided at 44 years old, and I'm 50, I'll be 59 next month.
Wow.
That if I can't be genuinely me, I don't want it. I don't want to be anybody else but me. I have to be that. And I really, all I care, maybe it makes me a flippity gibbet, a bubblehead. I don't know what other things people may think when they see me, but all I know is that I'm here to represent love on earth, ground that and beauty. And if I can do that, then a little bit of that each and every day, I'm happy. I'm happy.
Thank you so much for watching. Part 3 will be coming out soon. If you enjoyed this, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Have a beautiful day with your creativity, my friend. See you next time. Bye.